We've got some
Hey, I'm Luis.
And I'm Luis.
And you're listening to the Content is Profit podcast.
And we spent the last 4 years learning the strategies and techniques from some of the top marketers in the world on how to create content that turns into profit.
If you'd like to learn more how to turn that content into profit, go to contentisprofit.com. Oh, yeah. And listen to the episode.
Yes, of course, listen to the episode.
They have to listen to the episode.
Absolutely amazing. And I'm going to throw it back to my brother because honestly, I don't know what the hook for today is.
Oh, is your offer a premium offer? That question got me wondering yesterday, and this is why we're having this amazing conversation today. And by the way, we just crushed that intro without our cheat sheet. Just gonna throw it out there.
I know. Finally, after 130 episodes, we remembered the intro for the episode. So
consistency wins every time.
I'm very excited. First, because again, today's guest is absolutely amazing. One of our first friends in this digital marketing space. I'm very excited. But also, she is extremely knowledgeable, and I feel like she has this sort of like digital marketing pedigree. And she really knows what she's talking about. So
I know.
I am extremely excited. Like you said, you had this conversation with her yesterday. Your, ideas started flowing, and then you're like, we need to do this.
We need to make this happen because what they're offering and the help that they're going to provide is very valuable. And we'll share that in just a second. Without further ado, guys, please welcome Miss Kaci Brown.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm dancing even when the music was over, and FONZI, cheers, baby, cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
Coffee time.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be here. I love you guys, from day one, Duval.
Duval 904, let's go.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's why we got the teal background in here, but it's not teal, it's just blue.
Kaci, welcome back. Third time. How fortunate we are. This is insane.
Yeah. I feel the same with you guys. I think there's just there's people in the industry that not only have the energy, but they have the experience and they have the heart to deliver on the results that they say that they're going to create, which in our industry, we all know is very rare, uncommon. We are surrounded by incredible marketers, but not necessarily those who really care about the results of their clients to the degree that we all do. And I want to acknowledge you guys for that. Your business, your audience, your business, everything that has brought you to this point comes because of your commitment to the results that you create.
Thank you so much, Kaci. Those are very kind words, and you're gonna make me sob again. I've been sobbing in the last few episodes. Yeah, Kaci, I've been a crybaby. But I do thank you from the bottom of my heart because, to be honest, we worked really, really hard, not only to market and be consistent and be out there and share the message of amazing entrepreneurs like you, but also to deliver to the people that decide to work with us. Because, we know that they're making an amazing decision, and we're like, we need to deliver. We need to be there for them. So I thank you for that. Part of that journey was meeting you, right? Fun Hiking Live, that conversation that we had. Thank you, Dawn, for the amazing connection. And from there, it's just evolved. And I know that you guys are creating an amazing, community also. You have an amazing community of people behind you. And I think that's what attracted me, right? We talked so many times about environment and who you surround yourself with. And you guys, made the cut. We're like, oh my God. And, I see you guys everywhere. You got these amazing Friday calls, and you guys are also on Clubhouse almost every morning, delivering amazing content and information and also results for your clients. So tell me a little bit, right? For those who haven't listened to your episodes, we're going to link them right below so they can scroll down and go them, because there's an episode with you and Jorge as well, your business partner, who is incredible as well. So they can go there. But very fast version, 2 minutes. Who are you guys on Amplify, and what are you guys kind of working on? And then we'll dive into is your offer a premium offer?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So, hello, I am Kaci Brown, co-founder of Amplify My Impact. I feel like we've dialed that in. It's so funny that you guys were talking about the intro is usually I just dive right in and I help, I meet people where they're at. But we essentially exist to work with impact-driven entrepreneurs to get their message out there confidently and amplify their impact. So our success rests on how much we can do for our clients, right? It's client-focused results. And what we're working on right now is, oh my gosh, like I don't think I'm breaking news here, but 2020 was hard for a lot of people and a lot of our clients. And what we realized was we had learned to do a lot of things really, really well. We had learned to problem solve. And you guys know this, like when you're in business, like you become like a ninja problem solver. Like, I'm not afraid of friction. I'm not afraid of complication. I will figure it out. But that doesn't mean that allows you to create a system of sustainability, right? And so what we were realizing for our clients is that they were incredible at creating results, but as driven entrepreneurs, they didn't always align with charging what can compensate them for their time, their expertise, their team, the systems that they build out. They just wanted to serve, right? They wanted to create an environment to serve and would bend over backwards and overcomplicate the heck out of their business, which translates to affecting their cash flow. And impact-driven entrepreneurs need to be out there in the world. They need to be serving. But if you don't have the resources and the cash flow to create that sustainability, that's where burnout lives. And an impact-driven entrepreneur who is burnout is not good. Like, it's not good. They can't create the impact that they want. They can't create the solutions. They can't even like have the drive and put themselves out in front of people, because even in entrepreneurs, like there's peaks and valleys, like they get stuck in that valley, and so much impact lays on the line. And so that's what we're focusing on with premium offers, because we realize that if we could fix this, if we could help them zero in on their framework and their system and to create a consistent, reliable cash flow, their impact, expands to the greater ripple effect. And that's what we're all here for.
Yeah. That's so good, Kaci. Thank you for sharing. And I think this is so needed. And yesterday, when we like reconnected after a couple months, right? Like you guys have been like creating amazing impact on your end. We've been trying to do that on our side. I don't know if that's happening. I hope there is. You tell me, audience, like, are we creating an awesome impact? But I remember FONZI's here laughing for those listening.
They are amazing. They are amazing at impact, you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you,
okay.
Kaci.
I just asked that question so you could say that. I'm kidding. But it resonated so much because like I go back to like our journey, when we first started. I remember Fonzi, like we've shared this story, right? Fonzi going to the Mexican restaurant in his like suit, right? And we sell the first social media package ever that we sold, right? I think what was it, like $500 a month? And for us, that seemed like the most money we've ever like made in our lives, right? Like that was, he came by, he's like, dude, I sold them. Like, for how much? 500. Yes, we're gonna be able to like be millionaires now, right? What? And obviously objectives had shifted a little bit, but we quickly realized that wasn't even enough, right? Because we started executing and we're like, wow, man, like there's so much more to this, right? And also, for us personally, we had a backstory with our story with money, right? Like we grew up middle class. We had everything like that we ever needed, right? We were very fortunate. We traveled, we got opportunities. We went to like a really cool school in Venezuela. But at the same time, we have our dad, his money mentality was like, let's walk all weekend long to find the cheapest soccer shoes in the city, right? And we're like, why? Like, we could just like buy that pair Friday and enjoy the rest of the weekend, right? Kind of deal. So we're still like fighting with that. And that translates also on the business side. And Fonzi, you can chime in here because
I'm listening.
He's just listening. He's still waking up. Okay, cool. And that translates also into the business side of things, right? Because when we first start delivering, right, like we wanna obviously over deliver 100% of the time, but at the same time, when there's that disconnect between your offer and what you're giving, and then what the client understands what that offer is, there's friction, right? And for us, the last 2 years has been about removing that friction, and part of that has trying to come up with an amazing premium offer on the service side of things to make sure that clients is on the same page. We're on the same page. We're over delivering. Client is happy. Hence, we're happy, right? The team is happy. Everything is happy. So I think that's why I resonate so much with your message. Now I'm interested, Kaci, on how do you, what was the moment you realize, not just internally, but for your people, that you needed to be like, this needed to become a thing, a mission that you guys are now executing this weekend, I believe, right? So.
Yeah. So, I mean, I will be open and honest. This was totally an evolution for me where I realized resonate when you guys were like, we made a $500. Like when I first jumped back into my business, right? The first thing I did was create a paid case study to launch my agency to figure out who I wanted to work with. I was learning Facebook ads, and that was the direction that I wanted to go. And it was a $350 case study, right? And it taught me, one, that was not enough to charge. Two, that was the wrong people to work with because they weren't ready. And it wasn't creating those win-win-win scenarios. So fast forward through the agency, I was able to create packages, anywhere from $2,000 to $3,500, and then start, working with people long-term. And it wasn't until like I really thought about it where I was like, holy smokes, like these people who are working with me, these are like $24,000 to $30,000 contracts, right? And they weren't uncomfortable. It was literally like, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to accomplish in my business. Can you help me do that? And like, it was no hesitance. Yes. Right. Yeah. And so what we've created is sort of like, reverse engineered that mindset of, we've created 7 steps, but to create that, I think I shared with you yesterday, that lightning in the bottle, like where our superpower meets our mission and also the big problem that we're solving for our clients, that they are happy, right? It's not, absolutely. It doesn't become like, you want me to pay what for what? Like, they're like, thank God, here you go, take it over and let's run. Yes. Right. So that was the big aha for me, but it didn't come like, it wasn't like, it was like, it came through pain and struggle. Last year, as if 2020 wasn't enough with COVID, my husband almost over 9 years ago had brain surgery and totally shifted our lives and our perspective, which is why I like eat, sleep, and breathe impact, right? There's just, time is precious. Yeah. And our businesses are a vehicle to create the life that we want. Like that is just a non-negotiable for me. Yeah. And I was really, really lucky at 30 years old to realize that, like, I don't have time to waste or to play around or to not have the focus of my family and leverage what I know. And then at that point last summer, his brain tumor progressed into cancer, which sent us into a spiral where, we had already pivoted in COVID between the agency and our coaching program. Now he's diagnosed with cancer and we have to line up surgery and all sorts of stuff. And then we had to, on top of it all, we got COVID ourselves. So like that pushed his surgery back, which as a result, thank goodness, Jorge, my business partner, he was like, don't book any more clients. And as a business, that was hard, right? As an impact-driven business, that was hard to be like, there are people who out there who are hurting in business that need us to help them, but I can't right now. And it made me realize, like, I hadn't done our clients the best service. I haven't done our business or our team members the best service because we were just stepping in and solving whatever people needed. And that took 100% of all of our focus. We had great results. Yeah. But it was reinventing the wheel with every client, and we were not teaching them the principles of premium offers. Yeah. We were literally like, hey, we're launching a challenge. Can you help us launch a challenge? Yep, no problem. I can do that in my sleep. We're creating a summit. Yep, can do that. We need this sort of funnel built, or I'm creating a program. Can you help me with that? Yes, all day long. But we were not focusing in on cash flow and supporting their team. So my aha moment came at a really painful price. And it made me slowing down, focus on everything that we were going through with him. Jorge just straight out said, he's like, look, you do this in your mind and in your sleep like clockwork. And many times as impact-driven entrepreneurs, we do. Like it's easy as breathing. That's our superpower. It's not hard. So we don't respect it. We don't acknowledge it. And we just do it, right? But we don't necessarily follow the framework. Yeah. And so he's like, you figure out how you do what you do. Absolutely. And create a framework. And so that's what I did when we backed off and we just maintained the clients that we had. I really dove into what is it that we're doing with every one of them and what's the big domino for them. And the big domino was if they are suffering with cash flow, they can't launch. They can't have the team members. They can't sustain what we're creating for them.
Yeah.
So that big thing on for us.
Wow. Kaci, I just want to say thank you for sharing your story and sharing those very personal episodes, right? Because it's not easy, right? Like we all have stuff that we're dealing with in our private lives. And this morning I was listening to a podcast where Alex Hormozy was talking, right? And he has the marbles analogy, right? I'm not gonna dive too much into it, but each marble is basically a situation that's happening either at work on our private lives, right? So, and then if those marbles are not taken care of, right, like we have less capacity to execute in our business or, to create that impact, right? So I relate to that because, in the past few weeks, there's been some marbles that I need to take care of. And this can go like, I haven't organized the garage. Like that takes capacity, right? And then from what we can do, so I can even imagine what you went through last year with everything that you described. And I admire you for sharing that, one, and two, for still have an amazing strength and mission to help amazing entrepreneurs and shifting, right? And adapting and be like, hey, we're going to create with this amazing solution. So let this be a lesson for everybody listening, right? Like we're here, we're your students, Kaci. We're like, please, tell me more. We need to follow by example because that's what's going to drive us forward. So I say thank you and I appreciate you sharing all that. And I hope it helps people listening to reassess, what's happening in their life and bring a little bit of perspective and be like, hey, maybe I don't have a business, right? Maybe I work for somebody else, but can I take the lessons here to, impact my life, my daily, working or environment or XYZ, right? Whatever they're trying to do. And if you have a business, you better take these lessons and apply it, right?
Yeah. I second what my brother said, thank you so much for opening up in the way that you did and sharing those, stories and thoughts, because it's definitely not easy. And I'm, when you're talking about cash flow and making an impact, first, I'm like, wow, how can she do everything that she does with, everything that is going on in your life? I'm like amazed. And so obviously, thank you, because you're helping a lot of people on the journey. I'm extremely curious because, when we started our business, at least us was need and a little bit of greed on the sense of, hey, we want the money, right? Like, yes, we wanted to help, of course, we want to help our parents back home. And we were in the need of, hey, we need more money to, live comfortably. But I feel like most people either start their business because of that reason or because of they have a big dream. And they're like, I want to help the business do X, Y, and Z, right? And a concept that we came along last year was that you first need to start with your cash business to then transition into your dream business, right? Because if you're doing your dream business and then you kind of you still need the money, you still need the cash flow to make the dream business work, right? So a lot of people struggle in there because it's like, oh, but it's what I love to do. I feel maybe, a little guilty charging for this or do X, Y, and Z, right? So, Matt, what have you noticed in people's minds, in people's journey when it comes to this, making that transition? Because for us, definitely having one offer, right, price at the right price point that we knew we could, give the value to people and we could perform for the people that we were helping, like that will change everything. But what does it take? What have you seen in people's, journeys? What does it take for them to change, to accept that, to say, hey, I do need this premium offer?
Yeah, well, first, it's a total mindset shift because they think as an impact-driven entrepreneurs, the more they give, the better they serve. When in actuality, like we recently invested in a coach ourselves, and he just straight out called me out. He's like, your problem is you think your free content is going to change people. And it's not the free content that's going to change people. It's your ability to help them shift into who they need to be and create what they need to create. And then reverse engineering this again, because like, this is the thing, when we invest in ourselves, when we bet on ourselves, like the biggest objections that we have, like to a premium offer, like we teach everyone to look inside first, like as a buyer yourself, as a client yourself, what are your hesitations? What are your roadblocks? Because the more that we understand ourselves, the more that we better understand the people that we want to serve. Because typically the people that we're serving, they're a few steps behind us, or they're maybe 5 years behind us in business.
Yeah.
And if you can honestly look at that path that you traveled, and you can say, I can save them 5 years of pain in 30, 60, or 90 days. As an impact-driven entrepreneur, like, you force yourself into an actionable position.
Mm-hmm.
It's the equivalent of like standing there in front of a burning building with a bucket of water and being like, I can go get the fire truck, right? But here's my bucket. And no, like, you need to bring everything you got, and you need to help those people where they're at, and you need to serve them. And the point is, like, we're going to serve big anyway. Like, it's not within us to serve small.
Yeah.
So, in reflection, and this is an exercise that we walk through with our clients. So I would encourage, if you guys, how many $37 courses, free checklists, free PDFs, or whatever like that are sitting in your inbox that you've never opened or applied to the business and helped you move forward?
Yeah, plenty.
A ton, which, by the way, like, this past year I stopped doing that because it wasn't helping me, right? Like, we identify that.
I'm guilty. Sometimes I'm like, oh, that one looks cool. I want to check it out. But I agree. It doesn't change me. It doesn't change the way I think. It doesn't actually, inspire action. Is usually more on curiosity side. Like, oh, I want to see what's under this thing right here, back here, right? But it's nothing meaningful that actually creates a change.
Yeah, and Kaci, what you're saying is very powerful. In the past few years, we have identified this not only with the people that kind of come to us and we have conversations with, but, also on the content side of things, right? Like, we can say the message is your filter, right? So if people don't resonate with you, right, it's fine. Like, I'm not even going to try to convince them, because then that's going to be a rocky, full of friction relationship. Then what happens is that they levitate to you, and then it's like, look, I have this process or this framework or this service or XYZ, right? This is what it costs, right? Because I have team members to pay. I have our bills to pay. I have XYZ, right? This is what it is, right? And they're like, sweet, if you're committed, then you're going to make that happen. Like, we've had clients where they tell us, you guys should charge more. Then we have clients that are like, you guys should charge less, right? There's opinions left and right. But at the end of the day, it's like, what makes sense for us and our business to make sure that we can create the impact that we want to create, right? Not only for us, but for our clients. And what is the environment that we're going to put ourselves in to perform, 100% without any regret, to make sure that our clients have the best results ever? Well, this is the price. This is the offer that I need to give you. And if you're on board with that, this is XYZ that you're going to receive, and we're going to get results, and it's going to be amazing. But this is the commitment that you got to make. So, and I think, understanding that, right, and putting ourselves level up with our clients, and kind of, yes, meeting us there in the need side of things, but this is the price, or this is the offer, this is the investment that we need to offer it, because if not, we're not going to be able to perform to the best of our ability to you. And it's happened, Kaci, like, it's happened to us where we sometimes last year we sold it at a lower price to help them, right? Guess what? The commitment from the client wasn't there, so they dropped, right? Our commitment wasn't there because there's other people, that potentially could pay more, and there's more attention there, right? So we want to level up the field to make sure that we can perform 100%. So we're doing them at the service. And I think this conversation needs to happen because nobody's talking about this, right? So thank you for bringing it light, and just the fact that it's like, we need to create the impact, but we need the resources to do that, right?
Yeah. I think especially in today's world where, content is so open, like, everybody has access to so much information. You got YouTube, you got podcasts, right? There's a lot of people. I feel like one of the maybe biggest objections, and maybe it's because of the type of people that are looking for this, is that it's like, why would I pay if I can probably find it online anywhere, right? And reality is like, yeah, probably that information can be found somewhere.
Found.
found somewhere. Sorry, language barrier. It's all good.
We got it.
But you know, Kaci, like, what do you tell people like that they are like, oh no, like, why would I pay if I can find this, online anywhere? Are those people actually the people that you want to help? Are they not there yet? I'm curious because a lot of people might be facing those objections from some other people.
Yeah. And I would say the same thing that our mentor told us, like, information alone is not going to change you. Like, you could Google. I mean, when I first started out, Google and YouTube were my universities for social media. Yeah. But it wasn't until I decided to make the investment, like, into the 2CCX program with Russell Brunson. Like, that was an $18,000 investment. I didn't tell my husband knew, but I didn't tell my family for, like, they wouldn't get it. They would think I was crazy. Yeah. But what I learned was, bet on yourself. Bet on yourself. And it expanded my mindset, expanded my network. Yeah. It opened doors for me for coaching. I never thought I would be a coach. Like, if you would have talked to Kaci 5 years ago and say, like, where we're at today, it was like, I would probably die laughing. But, and I would first say, if you look at it like that, go to an experience where you invested in yourself and think about how that made you feel, how it shifted your confidence, how it changed your life. Literally, like, this isn't just fluff words, like, how it changed your life. And are you willing to go there for your clients? Are you withholding that opportunity to create? One of my biggest mentors that I'm so grateful for, Myron Golden, he's, he builds everything off of biblical principles. And I hope this lands well with the audience and helps them understand, like, the information is out there. Like, there's nothing new under the sun. But here's the power in someone walking beside you and guiding you through the minefield of entrepreneurship. One can put 10,000, or one can put 1,000 to flight. Two can put to 10,000. No, that's a difference of impact. I can go it alone and I can research and I can figure out, but, like, how many people do you know that have incredible opportunities or business solutions just sitting on their notebook or their work or their whiteboard? Yeah. When you invest and you bet on yourself, it's that price that you pay to hold yourself accountable, where it's like, if I was to sign up for a program for free, I have no skin in the game, right? If something comes up, well, I'll catch it next time, right? Yeah. But if I pay, like, when I paid 18 grand, guess where I was? Guess what my calendar looked like? Guess who was taking action? Yeah. Guess who paid for that? Like, I literally paid for that before I left the FHL event. Like, I told my husband, I'm like, I will leave here with a new client that pays for this program, or I will not be able to invest. Yeah. That lit a fire under me. Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah. Google and YouTube isn't going to do that. They're not going to be the one that shows up when I hit another roadblock and is like, automatically like, oh, it's okay, you're feeling like this or you're feeling like that, or the level of accountability to have skin in the game and to have someone who truly cares about your results, that is going to teach you, like, a new way to think and how to bet on yourself and how to create value for your clients and your customers and, like, make decisions. Just making decisions alone, holy heck. Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Kaci, I relate with your investment story so much, because that's what happened with us and Steve, right? Like, and offer that in our case, right? Like, that for us, that was a $25,000 offer that we took on, and our biggest investment before was a $2,000 event, right? Like, and that was already big, and we came from $100 investment, so it was like, for us, was like really, really big. Well, we saw the patterns, right? We saw when we put in the money, right? We executed and we got results. And then we put in more money and then we executed, we paid attention, we executed and we got results. And we're like, if this is it, right? And to me, it was the same thing. Like, Katie did not know about this investment until like 8 months in. Like, and again, it was part of a choice that I make, right? People will batch me or people will congratulate me. I've had both, right? But we're at peace with that. Like, Katie was like, well, thank God you didn't tell me, right? Thank God that you guys are getting results, right? And I eliminated that friction, but it was a very scary moment. Right now, we made it happen, right? Personally, for us, I had a personal loan, and I grabbed money from that loan and be like, here it is. We didn't pay in full. We tried to work a payment plan to be able to, continue to execute 100% and make sure that we were accountable, right? That was our system. But I understand that there might be people out there that want it, right? They're like, oh my God, yeah, this is it, right? But they might not be in a place financially to get there, right? To either afford it. So what is your advice to those people, right? Because they're like, oh man, like $18,000 sounds like a lot of money. It is a lot of money, right? Like $25,000 is a lot of money. For us, it was. We had no idea how we were going to be paying that, right? Like, but we figured it out, right? And we worked it out. So what would you say to those people? Like I want it, right? I might not be there financially. Like that's going to be a little bit of a challenge. You know, and I'll start a little bit. I'll start with me. Like for us was, we have to make it work. We have to come up with a payment plan. We have to go out and do this. And I think for those live, I think Kaci just dropped from the feed completely. So we're like, oh, where is she going?
I think maybe the Wi-Fi problems.
Yeah,
definitely Wi-Fi problems.
Definitely Wi-Fi problems. But it's okay. I mean, this is still a very important lesson. Fonzie, like what was going through your head? Because obviously
that's what we do and how we adapt.
Yeah. So what was going through your head when we were trying to make those investments? I don't know if you...
I don't know what was going through my head, but I know what was going through my armpits, and it was a lot of sweat. Let me tell you,
Yes.
I had the sweaty pits. Yeah, that was a very difficult investment for us. I mean, I remember sitting there and both of us looking at each other's face, and I was like, "Oh man, are we gonna do this?" I was like, "Are you gonna do this?" Because I was like, I don't know, like. I can't move. My armpits are so sweaty right now. They're heavy. I'm so nervous.
By the way, Kaci, Myron was the one that pushed us over the edge.
Yeah, Myron was the one.
Myron Golden. So, like,
but it's not just like the beautiful thing in there. Now looking back at it, it was the amount of into you, right? And like, I think underneath it all, the problems, all the needs that we had, like. I mean, we wouldn't be there if we knew we could do what we set out to do, right? But the fact that you had someone in there and he's just pouring belief in you and he's telling you, like you said, right? Like you're not actually just like, you're not paying is for the content, right? Like that is something that it took us a while to understand. Like what you're paying is for the accountability mainly, right? The accountability and like you said, having someone right next to you that is cheering you on and helping you, and not only cheering you, but also telling you when you're doing things wrong, right? That is where the value is at. And I think seeing that, feeling that at the moment, I think at the moment I didn't understand it, right? But feeling that was what made us take a chance. It was like, yes, like this is worth it, right? Like, if I get the sweaty pits, that means it's good. So, you know, I gotta trust them.
Like the bison, just go through the storm, right?
Yeah, just go through the storm. Yeah. And, you know, like George Bryant, actually, he was one of the first ones that kind of like illustrated that thought for me, that he was like, it's not about you. Like, your client doesn't succeed because of you. They can only succeed because of themselves. Exactly. Your job, your responsibility is to provide them with the tools and accountability and support necessary for them to succeed. Like you need to put all your effort into putting them in a position for them to succeed.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, their success is only dependable of them.
Now, Kaci, okay, so we got you back. I don't know if you heard the question, but my question to you was like, what is your advice for those that, you know, are have that desire, right? They know this is the thing that they gotta do, right? We're not convincing anybody, but we're trying to help them figure out like what is the next step, right? Like how will you tackle that?
Yeah. So first, I would ask them a question, and sort of challenge them to shift that, because everyone feels that feeling like I can't, right? I can't afford this. And so I would shift, like, how can I afford this, right? Because there's high ticket closers or whatever, and they would, you know, put it back on them, like, you can't afford not to, and you can, like, I am the opposite of high pressure sales. Like I feel like I am just like, here's the bridge, but you have to walk, you have to step. And I think the biggest power is that shift in who they are and how they are being, because I've seen it in programs where they rely on like the person, the attractive character, and they think they are the end all be all and they're the only ways that they can succeed. And like for us, like part of our process is hero client currency. And that is like, you are the hero, you are in the driver's seat. Like you have to create these breakthroughs for your clients. right? And that becomes the whole marketing campaign that you stand on. And as an impact-driven entrepreneur, if all we do is consistently create bridges and doorways for people to step through, like that's how we succeed. Not for them depending on every little thing that they need and thinking that we are the same, like we are a leader, like we are the guide, we are the ones that are going to step and walk with them, and when they fall, like we're going to push, pull, and drag them, right? But it's inside of you. And like I would just say, if you're looking at this and you know that you need to do it, or you need to shift, like what do you need to shift into? Who do you need to be? Like, again, I'll throw it back to, I mean, because we invest, like we have coaches of our own, right? And, you know, they said your problem is you're making decisions based on where you're at today in your business. And you have to stop making decisions that way. And you have to start making decisions like a millionaire, like a billionaire. Would they be haggling over this? Like me and my husband, we joke. We went through McDonald's one day, and he was at it. He was like, "How much is it to add cheese?" And they're like, 50 cents. And he's like, 50 cents for a slice of cheese? Like, no.
Yeah.
And we got through there, and I was like, "Did you want the cheese?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Then freaking get the cheese." Right? So, and that's a really small example, but like it's a mindset shift where it's like, am I going to nickel and dime myself? Because if I'm making decisions in my life that way, I'm attracting clients who are going to make those same decisions. And I'm keeping them boxed in. I'm not helping them see the full potential of what they have an expanded capacity in achieving. Right. And that's part of my job. And it's not to get, you know, there's people who are like, how much money can I pull out of the room? And for impact-driven entrepreneurs, we're not, it's not about that for us. It's how much potential is there, and how much are they staying in their own box, right? And if I can just start to break those walls down, and for them to see they have a potential for greatness, and like, oh, this $2,000 hurts, this $5,000 hurts, this $25,000 hurts. As soon as you shift into the mindset where it's like, I am capable, you're unstoppable. And that is the mindset shift. That is our responsibility, to give them the power to make those decisions confidently and to execute on them.
Yeah. Wow. That's so good. I love what you mentioned about the mindset shift on start making decisions like in the today's scenario, and start making decisions as if you already are, you know, that person that you want to be, right, to become. And that's actually a message that I've been coming across lately a lot. Like the other day, I was looking at someone in the financial sector that I follow on Instagram, and he was talking about, your problem is that you make $3 questions instead of making $30,000 questions when it comes to your finances, right? He's like, should I spend on Netflix? I'm like, that's a $3 question. You know, you should be asking, when am I gonna pay all my debt? That is the question that you should be asking, right? And then this morning, I saw this one other digital marketer that I follow, and he was talking about the same thing. It's like, you know, most people ask $100 questions, and he's like, I run my business asking $100,000 questions. And now you mentioned it too. So it is a sign.
It is a sign.
I'm going to have to definitely start asking those questions, you know?
And they are uncomfortable. Like, they should make you uncomfortable, because like if you're comfortable where you're at, you've stopped growing. Right. And I think that's the biggest thing, that besides like the tactics and the strategies, like there is personal growth that needs to happen. Right. And yeah, I'm very, very fortunate enough for Jorge, my business partner. You know, he's DIS certified, he's John Maxwell certified. So like we get the mindset shift and the backup to like just that internal drive of being an impact driven entrepreneur. So like we always joke, like it's a great 1-2 punch, because like I am like the incredible heart driven, emotional, like empath. Right. And he's heart driven too. But like he is like, we're going to shift your mind. Right. Why are you asking those questions? And that like shifting from I can't to how, like that is exactly the kind of work that he does with our clients. And I'm really
Oh, yeah. Kaci, thank you guys so much for bringing this to us and to everybody out there that's listening and watching. I really hope that they can connect with you. And in a second, we'll tell them how. But
wait, before you move on to the next one, real quick, I just remember a quote that I really love. That is, the quality of your life is determined by the quality of the questions that you ask. Yes. So it's like, I mean, that right there, it's a complete, like, how. Like, if we see it from the point of view of, like, how much effort does it take to change your mindset? Yeah. It's minimal. Like, all you need to do is change a sentence in your brain, in your internal talk that you do between yourself, and now you're changing already your mindset, which now starts changing literally the way that you perform in life. Yeah. So thank you for bringing that up.
And I wanna kind of create some kind of like awareness that we're not just saying this because it's just what it is. Like literally 2 days ago, my dad, which we love and adore, obviously, like at some point everybody's gonna meet him, but he sends me this email and he's like, "Son, I love you. Here's a bunch of deals that can help you with, in your life." And the deals were Walmart coupons, right? And I'm like, that's a $2 decision, right? It's like, I don't care. If I want to buy that cereal, I'm going to go buy that cereal. But again, I bring this to light because we grew up like that, right? So it's been taking like a decision to where like, we had to make the decision to be like, I need to stop thinking this way. I'm going to think on an abundance level to where like, do you want the Starbucks coffee? Go get the freaking Starbucks coffee. And that's fine. And then work really hard to make it happen, right? Like, we have another story. When I purchased my Jeep, like that was my dream car. Like I wanted a freaking 4-door Jeep. I adore my car. People like, everybody that I talk to, it's not gas efficient, blah, blah, blah. You're going to pay like $50 a tank. I don't care. I'm going to make it happen.
You're killing the world. No.
Okay, call it Tesla. Like, who cares, right? But for me, that was because it has a meaning. My wife didn't understand it, right? The meaning to me was like my older brother had it. Like, I saw that. I'm like, man, like, it just gave me the GBs, the feel goods, right? The gummies. The gummies. He gave me the gummies
in your belly.
And guess what? I went to make it happen, right? The job that I had at the time, it wasn't paying me enough to go buy the Jeep. So I was like, I went to my boss. I'm like, hey, can I get a raise? And he's like, actually, Luis, I was thinking we're opening this other location. Do you want to go work there? I mean, the pay increase is like almost double. I'm like, dude, yes, absolutely. And then I was able to go buy my Jeep, right? So it's like, that is obviously a very materialistic, very small example, but adapt that mindset to your business, right? Now we're asking those questions in the business, right? The other day we were having the conversation, man, we've been around real estate people for a long time now. Like we have some clients and it's like, how can we afford 20 houses? That was the question. How can we afford 20 houses so we can have enough residual income for XYZ? Like that was the question. And guess what? The answer was incredible. We came up with a solution. Is it going to be the final solution? Not sure.
But now we have a vision.
Now we have a vision and we have a plan because now all the decisions are going to be.
And it doesn't seem so scary anymore.
Exactly. So Kaci, this was so good. I was like, by the way, for those listening, I told Kaci, I'm like, we have like 30 minutes and we can continue talking about this. So how can people find you? Like, how are you guys starting this up? Like, what's the next step?
Yeah. So, we have our first live event around premium offer coming up this Friday and Saturday. And this is literally like 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern. So it's no joke, right? It's not like sit through a webinar and I'm just going to waste your time.
Yeah.
It is literally, we have expert origin story creations that we're going to have. They're hosting our Story Vault workshop. We have Krista Nichols, who is $1 million copywriter, helping people with taking that origin story and applying it to their mission, their message and the problem that they solve, anchored in their mission, right? So we're showing you how all of this works together. So the premium offer is literally like the end result of the 2 days. So you come to the table, we do sort of like a deep dive. We give you the steps in the workshop to work with you on, that foundation of what the big problem is that you're going to solve. And by the end of the 2 days, you should leave with a blueprint of what your premium offer is. We're going to show you how to run the math. We're going to show you, just like you guys were doing with the real estate, like you have this, instead of saying, man, that seems like it's impossible. you ask that question, how is this possible? Right. And so that's what these 2 days are like. Where have you come? What is your expertise? What results can you create? Do you have a framework? Like, we're asking you all of these hard questions, but we're asking it within an environment to support you to answer them. Like, so it's not just, oh, I need to do this. I need to do this. I need, like, literally, like, you're going to do it. We're going to have coaching hot seats. We're going to have Q&A. It's very, interactive with what we're doing. And hold on. It's $97. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. It's more time investment, like, and it's almost one of those things where it's like, we get so far down working for our clients in our business that sometimes our business gets off track, or we're not as profitable as we thought. And it's because we don't slow down enough to really look and do some inner reflection and work in our business and start planning and being strategic and getting those 5 and 6 and 10 moves ahead. Yeah. Right. And that's what this is all about. So we're excited to create this opportunity for people and take them to, like, we're literally sharing the exact same process that we took our clients through last year that resulted in $16,000 months, $27,000 to $45,000 days. Wow. Creating programs that are literally like multiple 6 figures, and just getting you to the point where the thing about it is, like, $1 million may not be your goal, but if it is, it's just a turn of the dial. Yeah. Right. It's getting that process into place, supporting yourself so you're not burnout. Right. Your family's not asking you, where are you? Right. Because we get into this to build a life that we want at the end of the day. And I'm blessed. Like, I'm here with my husband at Duke. We're going to his follow-up appointment. We do this every 6 weeks, right? I get to spend a whole weekend at baseball tournaments with our son. Our daughter plays basketball and volleyball, and the youngest one is in dance, right? So I think that's the biggest thing. And like, Jorge and I were talking one day, and he was like, what about for the people, like, how far do you want to take it? And I just got to the point where it's like, there is not an amount of money that you can pay me to miss, like, a Mother's Day tea party or a recital of our youngest. And that's where we want to get our clients to. It's not that, it's the power of choice, right? What they want and how they want to structure their life and their business.
Yeah. Oh man. Who's this for? Like, if,
Oh, okay. So this is for impact-driven entrepreneurs. Like, if you just want to create a premium offer so you can roll in the bank and buy Maseratis and mansions, like, there's plenty of other people that are going to teach you how to do that. Like, I am going to teach you how to serve at a bigger level. And so it's for impact-driven entrepreneurs who have an area of expertise that they've created results. Right. You may be shifting, you may be pivoting. A lot of people had to do that last year, but you have a core area of expertise where you could help people accomplish something that's valuable to them. Yeah. Right. So we're going to distill that. It's for the people who they want to build a life and a business around impact that serves them, their clients, and the greater contribution and ultimate ripple effect of the world. So it's for those who are going to play the long game. It's not just literally like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to make $100,000, peace out, like, and I'm never going to talk to my clients again. Yeah. So I hope that makes sense. So it's for people who are passionate, that are experts in their field, but they probably are struggling with not only scaling, but they're probably stuck in over delivering and working like 18 hours a day in their business.
Yeah. I love the stuck in over delivering because, like you mentioned at the beginning, right? Like, we want to solve everybody's problems. We are like, oh, you have the problem? Yes, I can do it. You have the problem? Yes, I can do it, right? And then you find yourself, just like you mentioned, creating the impact that you actually want to create. And it's crazy what happens when you focus in one thing, right? Like, all the amount of impact that you can create for others. And you said it yourself, that ripple effect, right? That one person you help, then that one person can help many other people. So yeah, absolutely. I want to encourage people to definitely go check it out and sign up. Where can they sign up for it?
Yeah, so it's impact and influence .live, and it's literally just the way it sounds. Impact and influence .live.
Yeah, the link is gonna be right in the description, guys. Just scroll down, click it. We're gonna see you right there. Honestly, there's no affiliate anything for us. Like, this is what we needed to hear like 4 years ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, today. Like, exactly. And are we gonna be there? I told Cassie, I'm like, you should have told me this like a month ago, because my wife will punish me if I miss Saturday with the baby, right? And that's the deal, right? Like, we made some room and we scheduled, but some people that might need this might not have that time, so they need that. So go sign up now.
We might be able to be there on Friday for a little bit. It's my birthday too, so we can all celebrate. I would love to celebrate my birthday with you, Cassie.
Yes. So,
and honestly, I want to tell these people out there, more than what you're going to learn. I mean, side note, because it is, again, is the value of the person that is holding your hand and taking you from point A and point B and holding you accountable. And there's no better person to do that than Cassie. And of course, Jorge. The two of them are incredible. And honestly, just because of that is a reason why you should sign up. Because the fact that connecting with them, connecting with their community, that itself is definitely going to help you get more impact, focus in your business and doing the things that you need to do to therefore scale your impact.
Some of the best relationships that we've been able to build through the show and through our journey this past year has come from your community, Cassie. So I thank you. Like, we sync of like a lot of levels, and so I encourage people, go at least check it out, right? Like, I think it's gonna be time well invested. You're gonna gain a ton from it. Like, I mean it. Where were you 4 years ago, right? Like, it would have shortcutted us like so much, and so that's why we're doing this morning show today. This is why we feel this needs to be shared 100%. So hopefully, if your website crashes, it's because of the show. I'm just gonna put out there,
totally.
just saying. So manifesting that there's a lot of signups, not that your website crashes, clearly. But Cassie, has been an incredible pleasure and honor having you here again for the third time. Moving up in the ranks, Cassie. Moving up in the ranks,
and I'm sure it's not gonna be the last
my
one.
Competitiveness is like, now I'm going to stalk you guys and be like, who's closing in on me? We need to schedule another interview.
I know. We should have.
Hey, we would love it, Cassie. We love having you here on the show, and one day we need to do one in person. That would be so cool.
Oh yeah. Oh, so when you talk about planting seeds and big dreams, like Luis and I did that yesterday, and we were like, well, this is where we're at in our business, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to cast the vision, and we're going to manifest this, and it's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
So it's going to happen, but we're not stressing out our business partners by getting into the details. But I'm just gonna say it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. I love it. Oh, okay, guys, just scroll down, click the link, impact and influence.live, and go create an awesome everything, awesome life, awesome business,
and impact-driven
business. Cassie, thank you so much for sharing your journey. And with that being said, thank you so much for tuning into the Content Profit Podcast. Go ahead and subscribe. Smash that subscribe button and follow us on social media if you want more of these juicy content.
Oh, yeah. And please don't forget to share it and leave a 5-star review. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.